Hi, and welcome back to Project Seashell. As you may have seen on my streams, or even the last video, we made a little bit more progress recently, and added some new buildings and everything. Today's focus is going to be living spaces, and sure they come in different shapes, sizes, and types. Of course, like this apartment build behind me, which will be on the larger side. We have little flats that live above the shops of mine, and hopefully some individual houses that I'd love to work on today and show you. But first of all, let me show you what we worked on last time. So for my first ever Minecraft video that you may have seen for Project Seashell, we built this little apartment building, little slot. We have a little bit of decoration in here, and keeping it vanilla was my main goal. So I didn't really use the modded blocks as much. Of course, you got the pale oak, you've got a microwave. Just ignore that. I know that's not vanilla. But most of this is vanilla besides the lantern and such. Adding a little bit more vanilla makes it accessible to you guys if you don't have mod packs like me. And I'm currently using the More Decorations 2-pack with a few added little special things. But I love the little compactness of this. And there is a bunch more apartments I'd love to show you in here. As you can see, I love adding little seating areas. I think it really brings a build together, and it adds just a little bit of personality and comfiness to this build. But of course, I've got a lot of bookshelves, and I love using these hellbark ones. Of course, this isn't vanilla, and this is part of my mod pack. But these lanterns too, they're just so cute. And keeping in the theme with these lovely azalea leaves, and the little vents, and the potted plant, it's great. I love using this. And of course, it's in a lot of my builds. There's kind of a little bit of connectivity between each little building I've made so far. This is one of the builds that you may have seen in some of my shorts and TikToks and stuff for just the sillies. But it's got the cutest view out here. It's so lovely being able to just see the sunrise and sunset here in my builds. More bookshelves, the cutest little bedroom as well. I am considering actually making more vanilla-based builds and such. It was a little bit more accessible, and also I think I could be a bit more creative than just using the modded stuff. And here's the bathroom as well. Let's go check out the other side of the building, because we've got two large apartments in this building. The flats and apartments are interchangeable, really. It's just a British thing. Lovely paintings and such. I love doing this little feature where I have open windows where I just simply add a plane and having a little bit of here. Obviously, this is going to be built up. These still don't have leaves on them. That's coming soon, I promise. And then we have a lovely open window. You can see the observatory and the greenhouse and just here. It's so cool. I can't wait to build up more with that and add some more decorations in the area. And of course, the florists called petunias. And then in here, this needs a little bit more lighting, and I'm going to work on that. But I want to try and differentiate the types of lighting that I have. I'd love to use some mushroom lamps and such in here as well to kind of add a bit more vibes. Little bathroom. And the bedroom in here, I love. Like, this is a redstone. Oh, not even redstone. It's glowstone. It looks like a redstone lamp. And then the little shades and such. It's so cute. Just adding little giant lamps and such. You can't turn these ones off. But some of the lamps in the mod pack can. And having a little diagonal wall as well. I'm like, how perfect is this? I'm so jealous of my own build. I wish I could live here. And then if we scoot back outside, we can have a little look what I've updated in the inn. Because I've definitely added some more decorations. But first, live-in spaces. Like this one here. It's a lovely little library called the Lounge. It's a very simplistic name, but I think it works. And it's a cute little space. We have computers, we have more books and such, and it just gives people a place to chill out and read their books and eat snacks and such. And it's a nice little bit of community space that all the people in the apartment can live in and then come down to and such. And it's all for everybody to interact with each other. And also, this is just such a beautiful little spot outside, and I love using dark prismarine for outdoor spaces. They're really nice tiles and such. But let's go check out the inn. Pubs and inns are amazing for storytelling in your world. Of course, spaces like this in the UK are generally more adult catered, since they serve alcohol and food and such, but usually you don't see children in pubs, because of course, alcohol, you know? More kid-friendly spaces in my world would be like the cafe and such. It's a little bit more family-friendly there, but pubs are generally for more adults and such, throughout the day or night where people come to communicate and just chill. And also, going back to the storytelling element of it all, we have travelers who could be coming from all over the world and they need somewhere to stay. Of course, you're not really going to buy an apartment or something if you're only staying for a few days, you know? But most pubs and such in the UK have cellars where they have all their stock, alcohol and such, and all the kegs and stuff they may need for business purposes. And of course, a few cobwebs, you know? It doesn't really get dusted that often. And that's just a little bit more storytelling element. But upstairs, usually in most pubs, you do have rooms that you can rent and such for the day or night and such. And of course, this one, we have a bit more of a vanilla vibe, with the bed and such using stripped dark oak wood, and then just some simple dark oak slabs. I love doing beds like this because it's on the same kind of level and it just really adds a little bit more detail to the beds. And plus, you have a nice little storytelling element where you can imagine people walking past in the middle of the night. And if you live in the UK, you kind of know that people are a little bit crazy. They like shouting when they go past pubs and stuff in the middle of the night. It'll hit midnight and people just love being loud. But, you know, it adds a little bit more pizzazz. Of course, the bathroom and such, there's a few bits I want to upgrade, but it's not illegal to go back to builds when you finish them. Adding that little bit of extra is really fun, and it shows that you can upgrade your builds after you've learned more skills. And of course, with a lot of pubs, generally they keep the same kind of deco. So the bed's the same in here, and the bathroom's the same. Just think of it as a little holiday space, and a little hotel basically, because that's kind of what it is, but a little bit more close to home, you know? But speaking of spaces, more individual spaces, of course, it's a seaside town, and I really want to add more seaside elements and such, hence why I'm working on a dock finally, and it's going to be over there. Come with me! Welcome to Seashell Port. And so far, it doesn't really look like much has gone on. But trust me, I'll be adding a lot more detail in a moment. But first, a little bit of added information for you guys. So, of course, as you can see here, there's a lot of red wool, which looks a little strange. But trust me, there is a purpose for it. When I'm blocking out builds and such, it makes my life so much easier when I have red wool, so I know what I'm building, what the kind of style and size that I want for my builds. This one and this one are going to be houses ideally, and having that nice seafront view is going to be beautiful. And having this little walkway, we can fish and such, it's beautiful getting to see all of the builds I've completed so far, and the wall. I need more time and appreciation for the wall. I love adding these lanterns and such, and the vegetation side. Of course, there's still a lot of terraforming that needs doing, and little details like this. These lights and such, I need to add more of. But also one thing that I need to do is a bit more variation with these rails. So if we add some anvils, we can do this, and keep in the kind of theme with everything. So we'll do this, and add some more lighting here, and kind of keep the theme going. Add a bit more anvils, and maybe even this. Ooh. Something like this. Just adding that little bit of detail, because it doesn't always have to be fences. I like combining these fence gates, fences, and the walls, because you get a little bit of a dip in the fence, and it adds a little bit of extra detail. And then continuing the theme here, we'll keep this going. But also, it's best to kind of break this up. So I'm going to add some of these, and then eventually, whenever that gets finished off, I can add that. But then we have lighting. It's beautiful, and a nice little walk path as well. I could have more detail later, like these stone buttons and these staircases and such. I use it for my walls, especially like here you can see I have nice little cut-ins and such. it just adds a little bit of detail. Because it's at the seaside, there's got to be a little bit of wearing on the buildings. With quartz, the striped quartz pillar. Yes, this is it. So if we do this, we'll put this up a little bit, and then we can add some really nice accents. This is where I feel like I can add acacia. I know it's quite orange and it's quite vibrant, but to be honest, I love adding it alongside sandstone and such because it just adds that little bit of extra detail. And also we can have a window here. And of course, since it's a seaside bit, we can add a little boat in here maybe, or a little tool shop. I think it'll really add to it. And having a little bit more detail. Do this. Archways are great, and sure, you need a little mechanism for the door and such. But here, and then you can have a little garage. Ooh, and another little pulley system with a tripwire. We can do that. And it's a nice little pull effect. You have it on both sides. We have garages in the UK, but you know, it's not really major. Ooh, granite. Of course, I love granite. But I think, actually, adding a little bit more detail. We can have some stairs, and it adds a little bit of a lip. Ooh, and then gravel. I don't usually work with gravel. Suspicious gravel. I don't usually work with gravel, but I think it's quite a nice little thing in a garage. Quite gritty. But I can also, if I really want, some smooth stone maybe. I can add some smooth stone at the back and the front. And it's got a nice little workshop thing going on. Ooh, and some windows. Let's add some windows here. We need a doorway, or are we just going to yeah, we'll have a doorway here. And then you can walk in. And we can use the granite again. Keeping that kind of doorway, making sure there's no dirt in it. And then that's a great start to a building. Of course, as I said, acacia, I really want to add some acacia. So I can use that as a splitting block, as I'd call it. It's a strange thing. I call it a splitting block. But basically what I do is I split the building in half, and then I can have more detail. Acacia kind of reminds me of carrots in a weird way. And how about some more stairs? And then we can figure out a door that we want to have. Oh, we can have an acacia down there as well to kind of link that. Door-wise, I think a jungle door would go really nicely here. So it adds that kind of beachy vibes. Ooh, maybe some of that. And we can have a little bush in the front. Ooh, you know what? I've loved working with lecterns recently. Let's see if I can do a nice little lectern. Ooh, I'll keep that acacia. If I get some acacia. Ooh, jungle wood even. We'll try jungle wood. Jungle wood and acacia we can kind of mix. Like this. If it'll go on the thing. There we go. You can have it open. And then, ooh, maybe some traps. Pressure plates. Oh yeah, pressure plates. I don't usually work with pressure plates, but I think that's a nice little added detail there. And of course, I like adding this. And then we can put some sandstone here. Just finish off this nicely. With the right block, of course. And then, of course, around here, you see I've got a little bit of a lip here with the grass and stuff. I do want to add some leaves here. And it'll nicely encompass it. There's like a little walk down. I just love working with leaves of any kind. I think they're really cute. But we'll try and keep this as vanilla as possible so it's easy for you guys to build if you really want to. And then adding that little tiny bed. I think since it's such a small building, there may not be enough space to build stairs and such. But let's have a look. I think the floor should be oak. Trying to add that variety of block as well, because I've near enough used every single type of wood in this house besides the darker ones. But we can have this. Ooh. And having like those little one block houses and such. And then here. I think we should go up one more. And then we definitely have In fact, no, we can have a variety of levels because if we have this, then we can have a nice little staircase up as well. Oh, I can use slabs for this to add a bit more variety. Depth. We could add some... Ooh, what should I add? No, I think we should keep these slabs. So we can keep that across. We can get a lovely little seating area here. Would be amazing. We can get some trap doors. I think we'll stick to the jungle ones and it keeps everything all nice and tied in. Ooh, can I do this? Oh, I can! And then you have a little bit more safety with the rail there. And then you can have a beautiful little bedroom here. Of course, I'm probably not going to be doing the interior here, but just a simple little build like this is so cute. And you can see it's already coming together and having that nice little angle and such down here. And just coming down and having this open, having a bit of interactivity as well. Let's have a look at the... Let's use some vanilla stuff. The lanterns, that's reinforced. The lantern in here. Ooh, we'll get a chain as well. I like using chains as well because it brings stuff down a little bit. And how cute is that little bit of lighting? And it's such mood lighting as well because you're nice and walking past it and you can see what people are doing. Ooh, maybe a window here. And then we can have the lighting in here. Adding a little bit of a kitchen maybe. I know I just said I wasn't going to do decorations, but why not? Ooh, actually, how about if we do a spruce one instead, and then we can try and get a bit more blocks in there. And then we can use this, because I really like using these pale oak ones. They look like fridge doors to me. And then some furnaces. Just the one. And then keeping with my usual theme, I always do a cauldron and have some water in it. Ooh, I'll need my white banner. We can have the seating area upstairs because it's a little bit cramped for space, but I can't complain. I think it's really cute so far. And a little towel there. Oh, and the lever for using the lever as a tap. And some cupboards as well. We can do... Ooh, we'll do some spruce. And do what I did on my other build. Oh, actually, if I keep them down, and then it looks like you can pull them up. Of course, it's very cramped. Like, you walk in and the kitchen's right here. But that's not necessarily such a bad thing. Oh, and some granite. No, actually, if I've used granite for the floor, I generally don't like using it as countertops because, you know, keeping it a bit pricey. Oh, and some moss, maybe. Moss carpet is my one love. I love using it. It really just adds to the build. Oh, we'll have a small one that keeps the nice space. And then get some stairs and chairs. Ooh, we'll use some spruce. Get this again. A nice little seating area. And then we can keep the theme going. Let me think. Ooh, some really nice terracotta would go perfectly here. Keeping in that kind of theme. And then we can add this. Matching blocks can be kind of hard if you're new to it. And sure, like, you're not supposed to be a perfectionist. It's a sandbox game. And enjoying what you're building is a main part of Minecraft. If you're not enjoying it, then surely you should start on a different thing. Or try something new. Ooh, did that? Because Minecraft is a game for everybody, and I've grown up with it, and I love playing Minecraft. And it's one of those games that I'll always keep true to my heart and such, because it's one that's grown up with me, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I've played a lot of different games. I've played all the Borderlands near enough. I've played just so much stuff in my lifetime so far, and I'm only 20, and I sound so old for saying that. But you know, it's one of those things that's going to stay with me forever, and I'll always love playing Minecraft. And yeah, sure, there'll probably be a time when I can't play Minecraft anymore, but I'll still enjoy what I've had. And what I get to play. Ooh, a little bit of that. Add in a little bit of a lip. We can keep this here. Ooh, I should probably do... Ooh, we'll add some acacia, actually. Better actually add some more to the build. And then fence. I love using fence. It's quite simplistic, But again, we can keep the kind of theme with the windows that I've done here. And I can add some pressure plate. And it kind of keeps the build all together. Yeah, sure, there's some details that need ironing out, but I think it's really coming together so far. Ooh, we can keep this. And the oak pressure plates we can do. And it's adding little side windows as well. It's really cute. So decoration in here is kind of sorted. And then, of course, the vanilla beds that I really want to add more of. I will do that in a second. Add a nice big window here. Oh, and then it perfectly opens up into here. And then do what I did on here as well. Or I can open it up like a nice little window. And maybe some buttons for a little bit of added detail. It's just trying to find your niche when it comes to building and figuring out what you enjoy about building. And what you really want to accomplish when you build. Oh, and then we can do some of this. Ooh. That down. A little bit of that. And of course the roof, I'm not gonna lie, I don't enjoy doing roofs at all. I find them quite difficult actually. But it shouldn't scare you. It's one of those parts of the build, it needs to get done, you know? You can't avoid it forever. I'd love to. But it's not gonna work like that. So if we do this... Oh, and then we can add some nice little potted plants on the side as well. I love using the modded stuff, but let's see. Ooh, I know exactly what would go so nicely here. Ooh. Maybe some little birch saplings. I think, yeah, that's perfect. Adding that little bit of detail. Ooh, and some buttons above the windows as well. Be really nice. This little building tutorial. Ooh, I need to add some windows here. Not great if you don't have windows. And I need those. It's very simplistic so far, but of course this is just vanilla. You can add to it as much as you want, and hopefully you'll find it easy enough to build. Ooh, and we can get some lanterns upstairs as well. And try and close off this little bit here. I always like using slabs, as I've said before. I think it just adds a little bit more detail, and also using stairs to kind of add a slanted element to your build with all this. Ooh, and I can do this where it has a little bit more depth to it. I can have two different sized roofs. I can have one spouting out here and one going straight across. I think that'd be really nice, actually. And have this here. Perfect. So, the house is finally complete, and I can't wait to show you. I did a little bit of off-camera mining just to finish off the little details. I had a little bit more deco inside, and I finished the roof. But I'll show you everything if you want to recreate my build. Follow me! So, the garage, of course, I added just a little bit of more detail. Of course, the lantern was in here already, you saw that. But instead of just gravel in here, I put andesite and some pressure plates as well to add that little bit of detail. As I said before, I love using trapdoors to make little tables and such. There's not really much details on the walls, but of course, that can be added later. Little tripwire hooks for clothing and such. And that's kind of the interior. That's about a few blocks wide here, as you can see. Then on the exterior, we have a little bit of taken off here with the steps, but you have a nice little archway over here with the windows, adding a little bit more detail that isn't using the trapdoors. Of course, the front here, you saw that before. I just added a few more buttons. I think they're really cute little details. Also, I love this little wall bit because it makes it look like a pulley system, kind of. And some leaves and such. Keeping the lectern, I really enjoy working with them. And the front of the building, nice trapdoors, a few details on the walls, trying to make sure it doesn't look completely just square, just adding a bit more dimension to it and such. And then on the side here, have a few more slabs. I did switch it up slightly. And of course here, you can see the roof. Very simplistic, but I think it really works. And adding a mix of the oak and a little bit of jungle as well. And then the details over here, I did use the trapdoors again. Just kind of separating the styles and also keeping the plants. And the back here, it's quite simplistic again. Of course, oops, completely missed that bit. There we go. See, your build isn't always complete. There's still always more and more to do every single time. But that's not such a bad thing. Details, but I think you're more interested in the interior, so let's go in. So, of course, we added this, a nice little space, a nice little kitchen and such. But you might be thinking, where am I going to sit? Because it's so compact. Well, if we go up the spiral stairs, you have a little seating area here where you can look out and such. And plus, it's a nice little breathable space. You can look out the window into the dock port area office. And then a nice little walk up here. I finished off the decorations in here. Of course, I might add some more later on. Another desk with trap doors and such. And the ceiling's all done. And I've tried to keep this as vanilla as possible so it's friendly to you guys. But I think this build turned it up so cute. And I can't wait to make some more houses. And of course, you can walk through here. You can get into the garage. But I love this build so much. And I'm so happy with it, how it's turned out. And let's have a look. I go over here quickly. It's such a lovely view. Just having more houses is going to be amazing. And I'd love to have more people on here. But for now, I think it's just going to be a me project. But I think it's really coming together nicely. And I can't wait to add more housing and different details and such to my build. But once again, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'll be joining you again, hopefully next month with some more Minecraft content. But if you can't wait till then, you can join my stream that's usually every Tuesday. It may change, but you can follow me on Twitch at Scully Doodles, and I'll be Twitch streaming and hopefully YouTube streaming eventually if I get everything sorted. And it'll be super fun to involve you guys and build some more with you and on stream. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you next time. Bye!